Having nice round glutes is far more appealing than a flat pancake butt. This preference is typically shared by both men and women. And it appears that the majority of individuals prefer more developed, elevated buttocks than undeveloped, sagging glutes. Fortunately, your glutes are not as genetically impacted as other muscles, such as your calves. So, there are multiple ways to add muscle and shape to your glutes while also building a much stronger lower body. In this video, we'll go over the only 6 exercises you'll need to grow a rounder, better-looking butt. The first exercise on the list is Romanian deadlifts, which are one of the best glute exercises. They are even more effective than ordinary deadlifts at targeting glute muscles. This will leave your glutes and hamstrings really sore, especially if you're doing it for the first time. This is due to the fact that you will be loading your muscles with weight in a stretched position, which will result in more microscopic tears, but it will be worth it once you see the results. The Romanian deadlift is a deadlift variant with a high hip position and no quad assistance. Begin with your feet about hip width apart, pointing straight ahead, and a barbell in front of you close to your shin. You may pick up the barbell from either a low rack or the floor. Push your hips back while very slightly bending your knees, keeping your back nice and flat. You should feel some hamstring tension. Pick up the barbell and stand, keeping your back straight and your core engaged. The Romanian deadlift begins in this upright stance. Lower the weight gradually by moving your hips back and feeling the stretch in your hamstrings. Make sure your back is neutral and you drop the barbell slowly. The Romanian deadlift is an eccentric exercise, so your hamstring and glute muscles will be working hard. Throughout the exercise, keep your knees back and slightly bent, and the hinge should come from your hips. Stand back up when your hands reach your shins, tightening your glutes at the top and maintaining the barbell close to your torso. Repeat this movement for the desired number of reps. Next, we have a unilateral exercise known as Bulgarian split squats. They are one of the best exercises for developing your glutes. This exercise can be done with dumbbells in your hands or a barbell on your traps, much like a regular squat. Stand about 2 feet in front of a strong bench or chair, feet hip width apart, core engaged, shoulders back, and chest and eyes pointing straight forward. Pick up your left foot and position it behind you on the bench. Ensure that your feet are still around hip width apart, if not slightly wider. You don't want your elevated foot precisely behind your front, which will make balancing harder. Roll your shoulders back and lean slightly forward at the waist. Starting to descend down on your right leg, bending the knee. The majority of the weight should be distributed over the front foot, with the remainder distributed over the back foot. Inhale throughout this downward phase, lowering yourself until you reach a comfortable stretch at the bottom. To return to an upright position, push up with your right foot while straightening your knee. Keep in mind that if your foot is farther away from the elevated surface, you will focus more on your glutes and hamstrings. If it is closer to the elevated surface, you will focus more on your quads. Barbell squats cannot be ignored for glutes development and overall leg development. Squats, when performed with good form and technique, can help to build your glutes muscles and overall leg muscles. Set up a barbell rack and rest the barbell across your traps, with your feet somewhat wider than shoulder width apart and slightly rotated outwards. You risk pain and injury if the barbell is resting on your neck rather than your traps. So, always ensure that the bar is resting on your traps. Keep your chest high and your core and upper back braced. Maintain a firm torso and a tiny, natural arch in your low back throughout the action. Take a deep breath and hold it while you push your hips back and bend your knees to drop as much as comfortable, or until your thighs are parallel to the floor. Keeping your weight on your heels. Maintain your natural lumbar curve throughout. To get back up, press your heels into the ground and extend and straighten your knees. When you stand up, make sure to not lock your knees. Release your breath at the top and take another deep breath, and repeat the movement for the next rep. Step-ups are the next exercise, and they are also excellent for working on the glutes. The step-up exercise is great for the lower body because it simply requires body weight and a platform, but you can also use dumbbells to increase the stress on the muscles exercised. It is an effective workout for people of all fitness levels, and it can be incorporated into any exercise plan aimed to increase glute and upper leg strength. To begin, you can stand in front of or to the side of the platform, which could be a chair, a box, or a bench, on which you intend to step. Your starting position will be your complete lead foot on the step with your toes pointing forward. To begin the upward movement, push your lead foot into the platform. As you begin to stand, keep your chest high, squeeze your glutes, straighten your leg, and move your hips forward. Squeeze your glutes and quadriceps as you finish the movement, keeping your spine neutral. After standing all the way up, lower back down to the starting position and repeat the movement for reps. The next exercise, barbell glute bridges, can be thought of as an isolation exercise that primarily targets the glutes with little work on the hamstrings. A barbell glute bridge is similar to a typical glute bridge that builds muscle by using your own body weight. It's one of the most effective workouts for glutes growth and boosting hip hinge mobility. Prepare an appropriate area to do the glute bridge before you begin, with shoulder blades leaning to a bench or a platform. You can also add some cushioning to the bar to make it more comfortable, especially if you are lifting heavy weight. To begin, roll the weighted barbell over your legs, allowing it to rest where your hips bend. Bend your knees to an angle and keep your feet flat on the floor while doing this. Wrap your fingers around the barbell. While holding the barbell, use your heels to push your hips upward. Your shoulders and head will be parallel to the floor. Bridge all the ways up until your knees are at a 90-degree angle and your hips are in line with your shoulder blades. Squeeze your glutes tightly on the way up. While in this position, you may notice your abdominal muscles tightening. Hold this elevated stance for a few seconds before slowly lowering yourself to the floor. Repeat for the necessary number of reps and sets, depending on your fitness goals. Walking lunges are another exercise that you should incorporate into your training routine to develop your glutes. To get the most out of this exercise, use heavy dumbbells when performing lunges that will put you close to failure after 8 to 12 lunges for each leg. To begin, stand up straight with your feet shoulder width apart and 2 heavy weights on your sides. Maintain an upright posture with your torso, core engaged, chest up, and shoulders back. Take a wide step forward with your left foot, placing your weight in your heel and allowing your right heel to naturally rise as you step forward. Bend both knees and lower your back knee to the ground. Stop right before it hits the ground. Breathe in during the lowering phase of the workout, moving your right foot forward without moving your left leg, and then repeat the movement on the right leg. Pause as your right leg is parallel to the floor in a lunge position. Continue stepping forward with each lunge, alternating sides as you do. If you lose your balance while walking, pause at the top of each lunge while your feet are adjacent to each other. Gather your strength, then proceed. Remember to begin your workout with compound movements such as Romanian deadlifts and barbell squats, and concentrate on lifting greater weight with these exercises. At the end of your workout, incorporate movements like glute bridges and lunges. Remember that you do not need to execute all of these exercises in a single workout. For amazing round glutes, 3 or 4 workouts for 3 to 4 challenging sets are more than enough. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more.